Joining me right now is King Khan himself. I'm not going to waste your time or mine or indeed his with a very long introduction. That's unusual. Usually I try and use all the cliches in introducing you, but
Just go,
King
hail
Khan
the
is a
king,
cliche.
hail the king, hail the king is here, yeah.
All
Faster.
hail. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for
How are
giving
you
us.
in Mumbai rains? You feeling well?
I am dry, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm feeling lucky and privileged. But I'm in your stomping grounds actually. Usually we end up meeting somewhere I'm more familiar with. This is completely your setting, so thanks for letting me in.
No, it's a studio, like your studio at NDTV back home.
थोड़ा सा अलग है. It's a little
हाँ, मैं थोड़ा unkempt है, but ठीक है, don't show
got a
off.
lot of flavor. No, we want to show people this a little bit because, like I said, getting into your territory, this is, of course, there's lots of things that everybody wants to know from you right now. You've got a huge movie coming up later this year, but first things first, I will go straight into our usual territory and talk to you about something that we last spoke about at the Auto Expo, which is 20 years of your association with Hyundai, and also safety and what's happening with road safety. So these are two things I want to quickly sort of talk a little bit about. I will start with safety because luckily what's changed between the time we last met and now is that a lot of people now care about it. A lot of people want to talk about it. You've become a huge advocate for this. Do you find that change?
I think everybody cares about safety. I think parents care about the safety of the kids. I think people at offices and everywhere, everybody, sportsmen care about the safety of the physiotherapists do that. Everyone, you have to be safe. But I guess, especially with the Hyundai lately, and I think it's a great move, if I may call it so, because I don't think it's just a move. I've been trying to explain to people that, when initially you start off on any job or work, it's always about how good you are at it. Then vanity sets in that, I've done it and I'm so well. And then a little bit of, maturity sets in where you get into the space where, listen, now we are good, we are doing well, and there's so much amazing feedback. And what have we done for the people in terms of gratitude for making us who we are? So I think Hyundai and myself are in that position in 20 years that we need to show gratitude by saying, okay, we've showed off, we have shown our vanity, we've kind of proved it to you all that how good we are, but we are nothing if we are not able to touch your lives and in our own small way, extremely small way, pass on messages through our products, so which kind of make you aware of safety, the small way we are doing it, and perhaps if it is adopted, it will become a big kind of a movement and help everyone. So I think Hyundai has done a great job in moving into that sphere, and I think I may speak for the company on behalf of the company. They will continue to do so. I think the gratitude of the product to the product that they have produced over the 20 years, such wonderful cars and such amazing success stories, I think will come through in terms of wanting to touch people's lives and say, listen, here are products which are going to get safer, better, and also surrogately talk about how safety is important. And like you said, people are becoming aware of it, and we could become a part of that awareness. It would be nice.
The attitude change that's also required. I mean, cars themselves are getting safer. The products, like you said, have gotten so much better now in terms of what they bring. But the fact that people also need to do that little bit, adopt some of that, make it a practice to wear seat belts and things like that. Your message on that?
No, I'm a big believer here. I mean, sometimes being a believer does not mean that I have not succumbed to being unsafe myself, unfortunately. And but it's an oversight at times, more often than not. Sometimes it's just, in the zone you're in, so it's okay. But I think it's important to be safe. And I think maybe me too, at this age with 3 kids, especially the young one, like I know when I'm going to drop him to school, I didn't even know there's a middle belt in the car which you can fit onto a baby. And he does it so sweetly. I take care of it. I'm always, "Arey, dekhna yaar, brake na lage," and all. So I think maybe I have also, how do I say it, become gentler. I think awareness comes with the gentility. It doesn't come with any other phase in life. So I think people who are going to become aware are going to either become gentler, or gentle people will become aware fast. But inshallah, everybody should become aware faster and look after each other. Small things, like you said, the safety belt or signaling or staying in lane or not dirting places, and just caring about the environment around you. Maybe not the larger picture also, it's difficult, honestly. But just taking care of things around you will help, and each one keeps on taking care around him or her. I think it can spread.
Be better, be more responsible. Now, I hadn't really planned to go here, but what you said just now partly answered this nagging thought I've had in my mind since last year. I've been wanting to talk to you about it. At the expo, it was kind of rushed, we didn't get into it, but I got into a lot of trouble with a lot of your fans last year and got horribly trolled because I made a point about the story that everybody picked up about your son in a convertible, the pictures that went viral. And I said, he should be in a car seat or a child seat. And everybody said, oh, you're just baiting him because he's a celebrity's son. To which the point was that, of course, because it is you, more people notice. So I'm actually thrilled to hear what you just said, that, you've also evolved to that point now where, you are really conscious of what happens with your children.
And I'm thrilled to hear that you were trolled.
I was horribly trolled.
Thank God for that.
I mean, troll doesn't begin to describe.
You mess with me again, I'll get you completely destroyed on social media. Go for it. Try it this time.
No, I know.
I think you deserve it, yeah.
I know.
I personally believe you deserve it, yeah. You were trying to bait me. He was. And attempting. That's what journalists do. But I'm too sharp for them. You guys are there. So get him next time. Let him ask a strange question now.
No, the question is very simply this. Specific to child safety then. Don't you think that's again something that gets overlooked in the Indian context? Because people just don't know. They don't know that children should be in the back or they should be in a seat or whatever.
Let me be honest. Just because I'm a public figure, I really am not the authority, because like it's happened, I've done things by mistake. Some days you just want to cuddle your child and take him in the front seat because that's where you're sitting. With the way the traffic is, with the way we are in a hurry everywhere, I think, yes, one should be concerned, like I said, I'll repeat it, with your immediate people, and I think with your neighbors. And if that happens, it will keep on moving forward. So, and we do that. Actually, to be really honest, most of us do look after our own, and sometimes disregard.
Yeah.
And when I say this, I'm not making a comment on others, I'm making it on myself. But I think, maybe I have also changed a little more. I've become gentler.
All right. So I can apologize now for baiting you on national television.
Okay.
No, I promise that wasn't the intention.
Say, hail the king, hail the king, hail the king.
Keep saying that, yes. All right, back to the 20-year association, because now it becomes even more special than, at the start of the year, since there's this new car that's on the anvil. Everybody's talking about the next Santro. We briefly talked about it the last time, but now it's close to becoming a reality. How do you view that? I mean, we've spoken so much about that first Santro commercial, the time that, you came in as the brand ambassador for this unknown company at the time. Knowing there's another Santro coming, what does that make you feel?
It's like making Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge all over again. Santro's like that, yeah. It was the car that I started with.
Yeah.
And there are phases and times change and things change. And so, okay, let's make a reloaded Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, and hopefully as relevant. And because it's a product made by Hyundai, I'm sure it will be relevant in every sense. So I'm really looking forward to it. I missed it here. I told you last time, Santro has been I remember being called Santro Wala. And for me, I miss it. So I'm really glad, So when we were phasing it out, they did this really good get-together, big get-together. And I think they were trying to be gentle and tell me, so Santro's gone and you're now the Hyundai brand ambassador. And they were being kind to me. The only thing they didn't do is give me a watch and say goodbye. But I think I'm really, really thrilled, strangely. I never thought I'll be associated with I'll get so attached to a product mainly because I do believe the product is the business of the product maker. I should just go along with it. But yeah, it'll be nice. It's really bringing it back, brings memories, and also I'm personally waiting to see how new it is now, how different it is.
So keen to see the new car.
I'm really keen to see the new car.
Yeah. Well, so are we. I can tell you there's a lot of anticipation around it. So we'll hope that that happens sooner than later. On to that big movie that I referred to at the start, Zero. Now it's coming to a point where everybody started to talk about it. There's a lot of anticipation and buzz around it. Where do things stand right now with the movie?
We released on 21st December. I think we started it about a year and a half back. We knew the time it will take because there are a lot of visual effects involved in it, and also we are trying to achieve a certain level of excellence when they're making me vertically challenged or of smaller stature, mainly because it's never been done in the world at such a large level. So we don't want to be the ones ki India mein chalta hai, itna level ka bhi. I really want it to be as clean and as sharp as it would be internationally made, because I think it's important for Indians to prove their worth and say, look, this is as good as where it can be. I'm a big believer of that. I'm a big believer, whether it's in a car, whether it's in a movie, whether it's in a machine, whether it's in a presentation, whatever. It should be world class, because we have the technology, and we have the technicians, and we don't need to go out of India to prove our worth. We should be proving it right here. So there have been a lot of boys and girls who've been working on the film, who were trained for this film and still go on. Of course, a little bit of boredom does set in doing the same job, but we are through with it. I think the first half of the film is complete in terms of the VFX. But we keep on. As a matter of fact, post I finish this, if it's not raining too much, I'll go to the VFX and I say, oh, thoda sa uska yaar wo kaan theek kar lega, thoda sa abhi thoda sa bada lag raha hai. It's a difficult process. The film is complete now. I think the edit is over. We saw it yesterday, and now we're just finishing it off. Inshallah, release a trailer, I think, sometime soon now. I think they're working on that. That's the issue with the film. That anything that you choose to make takes a lot of time. If you want it to be the level of excellence that we all desire, especially Anand Rai. He's never done a VFX film. And this is not a VFX film actually. All that will happen is that the stature or the, I'll just look different as the trailer has shown. The rest of it is like a regular film, and I think it's a very heartwarming film with Anushka and Katrina doing what they've done. So yeah, it's very exciting times. Lot of long nights because I don't want the team to be alone. So I've taken some time off from active shooting. This perhaps may be my last 2 days of shooting even an ad. Then I just want to sit with the team, because they work all night. So I just drop in. Everybody keeps asking me, do you like taking long drives in Santro? Yes, so I'll take my Santro and go to the VFX studio and sit there late at night. Yeah, so it's that process right now, but enjoyable.
And luckily there's not much traffic late night, so that's
late night.
That's a good thing.
At least my late night, nothing is ever.
But tell me this, for you, I understand the reason why you say you want it to be that, absolute pinnacle or the best level possible. Is that something you want to be recognized as well, or is that more like an internal process for you all at Red Chillies?
I don't think I can be vying for any more recognition than I already have. I think I've been being as regularly talented as a guy can be, and as regularly having worked like any regular guy does. The kind of recognition I've got is way beyond genuinely my expectations. But I think a part of that recognition also comes from the fact that I, though seem like easygoing and work with a lot of happiness and aplomb, I'm extremely taken in by details and getting them worked out right. I don't give the impression. I don't look organized. I don't seem like a hard taskmaster. I don't seem to be the kind of guy at work who'll say, "No, yaar, man, I will not change." Maybe I plan less, but I expect it to be of a level of excellence that I hope our children, when I say children, the youngsters in this country, do not feel offended watching it internationally. Because there have been times when I've gone and I hear it even today, and that's, I think, bogus. Arey yaar, India ke liye theek hai. No, it's not. Why? We are the best citizens of the world, and we believe that. So then why shouldn't the best be given to us by the best in India? And I do believe, and I'm not being egoistic, I'm one of the best in India. I have to give the best, at least in the things that I can control. The story, the emotional part of it, what happens with the film is not in my control. But the production part of it is in my control as a producer. And I'm very, very happy that I have a team, Color Yellow, which is Anand Rai's company. They also believe in that excellence. So, I just hope it's the least I can do from the place that I am, or the recognition that I've got, really.
Given that context of, sort of acing it and being at that level, and also because I think now we are in a much more sort of a global world. A lot of people are looking at India in many ways differently than they used to earlier. Two cliched things I know that get discussed a lot of late in the film industry. One is doing films outside of India. I know you've been asked this many times. But the second is, so is that something you still want to do? And the second is, of course, about moving to new platforms, like maybe returning to television, but more from a web perspective. There's a lot of talk about what's happening, with Netflix and platforms like Amazon.
I think I've never been offered a job in Hollywood, so I can't be saying whether I want to. I was just telling someone I look at the moon every day and I want to be sitting on top of that. But that's not important what I want. It's important that what others want. Does the moon want me? Does Hollywood have a job for a 53-year-old actor with no special talent? If I'm given an opportunity where I can do it with dignity, I would love to, but I haven't been offered anything. So for me, it's not a question. It's like everyone asks me, how do you choose a brand? I don't. The brand chooses me. If I wanted to work for Hyundai, they didn't want me to work for it. I can keep on choosing it all I want. It's not, and my final dream is still that, if I'm able to achieve it, hopefully, inshallah, I will, where I want to make an Indian film or start being a part of Indian cinema in a way that every actor and actress and producer and director is asked this question. Don't you want to work in Bollywood? That's what I want to achieve. And I want, let me see who I know. I know Mr. Will Smith well, so I can talk about him. So Mr. Will Smith is asked sometimes, so do you think if you got an opportunity to work in Bollywood, would you? And he says, my God, I'm dying to. So if I'm able to be part of that drive in Indian cinema, that would be wonderful. May happen, may not happen in my lifetime. And the platforms are, I think it's important to have all platforms because like IPL, Netflix and all the other platforms that have come in, they are giving opportunities to a lot more filmmakers than they had before. And I was just explaining it to another set of people that quality of life means doing what you want to as and when you wish to. And entertainment should be a part of that quality of life. You should do it as and when you want to, as you wish to. And if it's on your telephone, go ahead, do it. Who are we as producers to stop you from changing your quality of life of choice? So I think these are great platforms. There are certain films which I think should be encouraged to be made for these platforms. As a matter of fact, I think sometimes, unfortunately, we take these films to cinema. And I'm not saying, oh, it's a small film. No, I'm saying the biggest of films. Certain storytelling is better for a platform like Netflix or a series form or a television form. And we should recognize that.
And you're open to being a part of that?
Oh, most certainly. Most certainly. We are producing some. And television, I really enjoy doing this TED Talks, which is very interesting. I should enjoy it. I don't want to be in television or any other platform right now just for the math of it. I want to do it because it's fun, it's nice, and I can add something to it and get some value out of it for me as an entertainer too.
All right, I'm going to do a complete sort of a rip-off because it's been done to death by everybody on television, but nobody does it as well as your friend, which is of course Mr. Johar, and I'm talking about the rapid fire round. I'm not going to be as quick as him, but I hope you will be, as you are on his show. May I?
Yeah, please.
All right. How did you feel when Hyundai first asked you to sign on as brand ambassador 20 years ago?
Genuinely, honestly, I was, because I've been saying this again and again, there were so many versions of how to pronounce Hyundai. Mine was, I hope I get it right when I have to say it. I was really worried about it, honestly. When Filmistan, I remember showing it for, I'm like, I hope I get it right, I hope I get it right.
Were you surprised when they approached you? Were you happy, thrilled? What was your
first emotion? At that time, there were no cars, there were no car endorsements. And, so for me, it was perhaps the biggest endorsement ever. The car brand which wants, people never use stars for cars. So I was like really thrilled and really excited and extremely pleasantly shocked.
All right. Now, of course, they've renewed that contract ever since. How do you feel today when you continue to have a relationship with this company?
I don't know. I can call Hyundai like my long-time life partner, husband or wife. I don't know what, but it seems like we are together, and I really, from the bottom of my heart, wish them well for having done so much for me. And it's really wonderful if I can just be with them and be happy, and whatever makes them happy. I'm really. It's like 20 years, a long time.
So, okay, you've done lots of ad shoots with cars, therefore. Your favorite one, best one that you can think of now?
This is unsafe talk. Some of the stuff, I have to turn the car around, and I'm very proud to say that I learned to turn the car around 360 degrees in a Hyundai shoot. So I'm very proud of that. Don't try it at home. It requires learning, and there's a lot of safety stuff that you have to do, and you have
Controlled environment.
Huh?
Controlled environment.
Controlled
That's the part people
environment,
forget.
and you have to put bars in the car just in case it turns over. It's all protected. So I learned it. That was really exciting.
That was
very,
Santro
very
ad,
exciting.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think I
very
remember
exciting.
which ad you're
Yeah, it was
talking
very
about.
exciting turning it around.
All right, and then the best car scene you've done in one of your movies.
I think the nicest is in Raju Ban Gaya Gentleman, where I take my girlfriend. I can't afford a car. I'm low middle class, and I ask the salesman that can I see the car, just so that I can put on the AC, put on some music and romance with the girl, because I can't afford it. And the salesman, I think Vivek Vaswani was playing the salesman and Jui was the actress, and I'm like, listen, I can't afford it, but I'm going to take you for I think it was very romantic.
That's not the answer I would have expected, so that's great. I mean,
Yeah,
people think of, all action scenes and things like that, but that's great.
I'm not an action hero.
No, but having said that,
I
you've
get
done
all
some
my
good
action
stuff.
from romance.
All right, I'm not going to go down and keep on talking about action movies, because I think what you're saying makes sense. Best car or bike scene in somebody else's movie, if anything comes to mind.
I think one of the nicest stunts I've done in a car, again I think it was an accent which we removed the logo from, is actually I've been inside a firebomb in a car myself. And I remember putting in 3 cameras inside to show it to my kids, but it burnt out. But in dawn, on the beach, I've done that shot where these bombs blow, and I actually have driven the
In
car.
the first
to that.
one?
In part 1, yeah, the first scene.
Yeah.
The first scene,
I
the opening
remember
scene.
that. All right, so on that note then, this is apt, Dawn 3 or Ravan 2?
Neither on the cards right now, yeah.
No, what would you like to happen?
Both.
Hypothetically?
Both, I'd like both to do, but it's a lot of hard work for both of them, yeah. I have neither of them are on the cards. I know Farhan is writing one, but Ravan Anubhav has not worked on anything, so I have no idea right now. Right now I have no film, so I'm just sitting and finishing this one off.
I'll be happy if both come out too. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
inshallah,
that.
it will be nice, yeah, to do 2 action films, yeah.
Yeah, okay. The next IPL trophy or 300 crores at the box office?
It's nicer to be greedy.
Don't say both.
Okay, then 1,000 crore at the box office in the next 10 years of IPL trophy.
Okay.
Does that make me greedy?
All right. Considering you've gotten back together with these 2 actresses, Anushka or Katrina?
Can't have either. So I can't say both.
See, now I'm so bad at this, and you're so good at it. All right. Aryan or Suhana, who wants to follow in your footsteps?
Suhana wants to act. Footsteps means a related field. I think maybe Aryan too, he wants to be a filmmaker. But I think Suhana wants to act, yeah.
Are you excited by that? Are you scared by that?
No, I mean,
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, they still have, Suhana's got 5 years of school left, 4 years of college, and Aryan has 3 years. So it's a long way to go, yeah.
All right. The one other question that keeps coming up always for you is about what some of your seniors have done in the South recently, which is, of course, Mr. Rajnikant and Kamal Haasan. Would you ever consider doing that? Going into doing something for the country on the political side?
No, I'd love to do everything for the country. In terms of the job that I know, as an entertainer, I would love to do it. But I think politics is a specialized field. Rajni sir, I know, feels for it. Kamal sir, I have had chats with them over years, and they really genuinely feel, and even before they joined politics, I think both of them were in the public field of helping people socially. I think they are more aware of that aspect much earlier than even now when they talk about them joining politics. I speak with them, so I think for them it seems like a natural progression, and they're loved by people, and and they want to do things for people. Not that I don't want to, and not that I'm not loved by people, but I think it's a specialized field. I don't have that much knowledge of being part of politics, and I think you need to be an expert. You need to be also, I believe you need to be completely selfless and dedicated to working towards making the part of your people have a better life throughout. So I don't know if I'm as strongly selfless about it as yet or not. So I don't think, I doubt I'd be part of politics. But to scare everybody, just to make it news, so that you have a headline, otherwise you'll not be able to sell this. If I join politics, I'm thinking what would be my क्या कहते हैं, chin. Maybe this is a heart, outstretched arms and all. Okay,
Yeah.
no jokes of politics. No, I don't think I have the wherewithal to be a politician. It requires a lot more commitment than I have at this point in time, to be honest.
Fair enough. All right, last point then. Let me now be the greedy one and ask you about what, again, I know you've been keeping an eye on what we do at Carandbike. So we've come a long way as well in these last few years. Your thoughts?
I think it's fantastic, yeah. Strangely, the timings of your shows are such that whenever I put on television, you're on. Either that or they're having a lot of reruns.
I plan that too.
News नहीं है, इसको rerun करते रहो.
जितना footage मिले.
जितना footage मिले, इसको ले लो यार. But it's interesting, because it's not a field that everybody knows about. I asked you last time also, do a lot of people watch it? Because I had a question just now where they said, are the younger generation as interested in the, the feel for cars and stuff as the older ones had? So maybe that is lessening.
They're not necessarily with us on television, but they're with us on digital.
Digitally, yeah. So they do watch it. It's very interesting because, my interest in cars, even though I'm 20 years with Hyundai, is about a car is meant to be a vehicle which gets you from one place to the other. How wonderful, what torque it has, what horsepower it has, and what some new, 3.6 bhp, T30 and R2Z and Z1, I don't understand. For me, it's just to get to another place. But whenever I catch your show, to be honest, it's very, I'm a seeker of knowledge. I have this big issue, I want to know about everything. I have a big problem, and it'll get to me one of these days. So when I sit on it, then I really get to understand and know that there's so many things involved. And lately when I'm riding the new cars that Hyundai is making, there's so many innovations. The small one just from charging your phone on now. Yeah? There's so many new things which have happened in the last 2-3 years. So it's quite informative and entertaining. I think it's really cool, not just to see it for the beast a car is, but just how you make it. How does this thing function? And with so many safety features coming in, I think it's extremely interesting, extremely interesting. I sometimes don't even think about the other day I was seeing an article and then I went and searched on the web that, how electrical vehicles will come out, how roads have already been designed, how highways are already designed with the kind of, is it called asphalt? Is that how you pronounce it? ASPHALT. Cars will ride and they'll get self-charged because of the tires and all. It's quite amazing, yeah. And so thank you for letting me know more about cars. Having said that, I'll stick to my Santro. There is nothing better than Santro. Let me tell you, with all the talk and all the new chases and whatever, kya usme tha kuch bata naam?
No, let me get a commitment from you then the next time we meet is with the new Santro. How's that? I mean, we keep planning that we'll do a...
If you come to my house, you can see the old Santro, you can see the middle-aged Santro, and now we can come back to even the new Santro, yes.
Can I hold you to that?
100, absolutely.
Okay.
I have antique Santros.
No, the whole part about doing all three together.
All three together.
I'll come wherever you say.
And I will give you the spiel that you give sitting on the bonnets of cars.
Done.
Absolutely. कि ये radial tire है और उसका ऐसा होता है कि इसका suspension इतना अच्छा है, जो turning है इसका ऐसा है, इसका सारा का सारा 5 words हैं सीखने हैं मुझको. मैं सीख लूँगा Google करके and I will come back and if you mess with me, my fans will troll you. So you can't.
As I now know. But thank you.
Thank you.
So then the next time with the new car.
Next interview in the Santro.
In the Santro. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.